Brother,
Good deal. Let me turn off the Facebook stream here. How we doing?
man, good. I'm good, man. I got good energy today. Feeling pretty good. How you doing?
Doing good. Man, I appreciate you putting these on. I looked and I was like, Kevin's live right now. I'm like, is it Wednesday? I'm like, oh my God, did I forget? I didn't even tell myself. I just hopped in the Zoom or the Facebook stream. I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I forgot.
Oh,
And
it's
then I
not Wednesday.
realized,
It's not Wednesday,
right.
bro. No, I'm just doing a random today, just off the cuff, impromptu.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, I was so like, man, I can't believe I let myself forget because it's on my calendar. So I was like, man, how do I do this? And so I
Mm-mm.
just jumped in as quick as I could and just was like on my phone, just staring at the screen.
That's hilarious, bro. So talk to me. How's the week, man? I know last week,
Yeah,
how
it's
you
been
doing?
it's been a grind, just basically getting after it every day, I'm doing a lot more content, so that's
Mhm.
been getting a lot more eyes because I
Nice.
realized to myself I don't have to be because I'm kind of a perfectionist, same with my partners. Like we're
Yeah.
kind of perfectionists, and I was telling them, we just had a conversation after I jumped off with you guys last week. I was like, we don't have to be perfect, we don't have to be the best, we just have to be the biggest and the loudest. And so
Mm.
doing the content, I've been going crazy in Facebook groups, just
Really
commenting, making posts, commenting at every single person who comments, I comment back. And then I'm
nice.
starting to, the people who do comment, I'm starting to hit them up via Messenger directly and say, hey, start the conversation. Hey, blah, blah, blah. I was just, I appreciate you commenting, sharing your insight, that kind of thing. So getting that kind of, I guess a warm interaction in a sense, but,
Right.
um, doing that on Facebook. Today I was going to start doing like the kind of more in-depth Instagram approach where you just record a video of for somebody in their direct message saying
Nice.
something, that you notice about their website, something like
Yo, I
that.
forgot about that approach. The
Oh
IG
yeah.
videos, I used to get a
Yeah.
lot of those.
Yeah. Because I had
Yeah.
people who would send me voice memos and I always listen to the voice memos. I can already tell if somebody's like hitting me up via text, usually in the request, I can
Mhm.
already tell what it's going to be. So I'm going to try to do that. And then I've been just on LinkedIn, 20 requests a day, just
Nice.
every single morning, 20 requests to like who's my target audience. And then starting that conversation from there, like reaching out once they connect and I get that notification, hitting them up, say, hey, thank you, or just great to connect, something like that. So
Nice. Nice.
that's my approach right now. As you know, from our situation, things kind of went downhill a little bit
Mhm.
with our other things. So it kind of took effect everywhere. But that's why I'm just starting at ground zero. And I'm like,
Woo.
what can I do for free every single day, nonstop? And it's content, reaching out to people, direct messages, posting in the Facebook groups where there's like thousands of people getting a lot of engagement, stuff like that. So I'm just
Nice.
putting in the groundwork right now, honestly.
I like it. I like it. You hungry? I like it. Yes, yes, yes. What right now seems to be the hardest part? Like, is it the actual like execution, the filming of the videos and stuff like that, or is it more so just the attitude, like the keeping the positive attitude? What seems to be the hardest?
Yeah, I would say everything else comes pretty naturally to me, like making videos, and then like figuring things out as time goes on and like reaching out to people. It's more so like my mindset of
Yeah.
some I used to play like very nice. And so like, oh, I don't want to bother
Mm,
this person or I don't want to be that guy who's like, oh, here's
right.
Kaleb again and so it was getting out of my own head every single day, honestly. It's a conversation I have to tell myself every day. It's like you need to go after what you want. I made a video about it too. Like you can't rely on other people to make your dreams come true. And
Right.
so if you don't do anything consistently, then who's going to make it happen? And
Mm,
so
right.
another thing that I have that I always tell my partners is like nothing will change if you don't change anything. Like you can't get the same results or you can't get different results doing the same thing. And
Right.
so that's why I'm like, dude, I don't have a choice. Like as you know, I'm a very, very big visionary and I have a lot of
Hmm.
big goals for our CRM and so or our software. Um, so it's like, man, I just got to remind myself every day. It's like, this is what's stopping you or in the way of you and that end goal. Are you going to do it or not? And that just boils down to that. Are you going to do the work or not?
Yeah.
Like there's no oh, because of this, or I didn't have time, or it's like if it means something or it's important to you, you'll make time for it.
Right.
So
Right.
that's basically it. Like staying up late till like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, like just editing videos and
Wow.
making them more appealing and listening to courses, doing literally anything I can to, again, it just is about how bad do you want it. And I want this more than probably anything.
You probably at this point you probably want it almost as bad as I do.
Yeah.
Probably because like you know how I realized I wanted it bad. This was the tell, right? You ever get really irritated on the phone on a sales call and you have that voice in your head and you go, "What the hell are they talking about? Why are they making all these excuses? I don't got time for this." Like, does that happen to you like almost every
Yeah.
time you talk to someone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know like your urgency meter's going like through the roof. Like
Oh
mine,
yeah.
it's like it's almost like to a level where certain people might be like offended,
Oh yeah. 100%. Like,
Yeah.
because you're thinking to yourself, like, you have this issue. I'm here to
Mhm.
fix it. What's stopping us from doing anything about it? Which I can kind of resonate with. Like, if it's a money thing, I get that. If it's like, a higher ticket, whatever the case may be, just
Yeah.
from my current situation. But at the same time, you shouldn't even, what you had really opened my eyes to last week was like, who are you targeting? And
Yeah,
that was
that
my
person should
problem.
never even gotten on the call.
Exactly.
Then you shouldn't be in that situation. That's on me if I did that.
Yeah. And so you opening my eyes to that, like I said, diving into the group last Wednesday, like for
For
real,
real, for real.
really just
Man, that
opened
was
my
a deep
perspective.
session, bro.
Oh yeah.
That was
Yeah.
like I had to take a minute after that one. I was like, yeah, I needed all those reminders.
Yeah.
You know.
Trust me. Trust me. Oh man. It's nice to have other people who are also like, because this is kind of the problem that I also had too, like prior to that call. You see online, especially, if you're doing prospecting and stuff like that, obviously you see everything online and everything looks great.
Oh
Everybody's
yeah.
winning.
Everybody's always winning.
Everybody's making $1 million plus, or, every SaaS company has 7 figures a year or just some wild. It's like, man, and you start to get in your own head. It's like you see all these wins,
Yeah.
but it's such a small pool. Like you're only seeing, like, let's just say 2% of all the SaaS companies or all the
Oh yeah.
consultants
Oh
or all
yeah.
the,
That's not the norm to make 6 figures a month like that, just out the
yeah.
gate. It's not. And to be honest, bro, the other thing that really helped me because I was overreacting and thinking about it too. All these people have massive personal brands, bro. Like, let's be honest about it, right? Massive. I'm talking 800,000, 2 million, 3 million.
Yeah.
That matters. It's not like that just so happens. No, that is the business. Like
Yeah.
they have this personal brand and then the business brand, just like Apple, Steve Jobs, right? Personal brand, right? His face, and then the logo, the Apple logo. And that logo, when that logo show up on anything,
Oh yeah.
somebody buying.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it just makes you like think, because to your point also, they have a lot more money than we could ever spend. And so
Right.
even like solo guys who have these massive, whether it's a consultant business or a SaaS company or an agency, like these guys are plugging in. I've heard the numbers like 20, 30,
50 a month on
50K a
Facebook
month.
ads alone.
Yeah. It's like, wow. So I don't know. It's you have to be very careful on social media. Like I am a very big culprit of this. Like you see a lot of things that are working for people so well, and you get obviously you get excited, or you just see potential, and that's what got me into business in the first place. But you have to kind of, like you said, you have to be grounded and you have to understand the reality of the situation. And I think that's the toughest part, not only for a lot of people, but for me included, because like I said, I'm somebody who, like, when I'm all in, I'll give up everything. I'm full diving in. But when things aren't like the wheels aren't turning, it's very easy to like be
Yeah,
mad at
jump that
yourself.
ship and then go, oh, this ship looks great. Oh,
Yeah.
and you know what's weird about that too is I don't honestly, bro, I don't think it's just like an imposter syndrome thing. I think it's deeper than that.
Mm.
Because you know how people say that they're like, oh, that's imposter syndrome or shiny object syndrome or whatever, right? Bro, honestly, if you think about it, even the people at the highest level, they're doing it too. They're hopping around in crypto and this and that. Is it really shiny object syndrome?
Yeah.
Or is it just we're wired that way as entrepreneurs? Like we always look for the next best thing.
Yeah. That's a
And
good point.
right? Because that's exactly what Elon's doing, right?
It's innovation,
It's
like, and
innovation.
adapting.
So
Wow. I didn't
yeah, it's
even
just
think
that some
about it.
people pick the better cards,
And
right?
have better tools to work those cards too.
Exactly, bro. Like if you got 100 people on the engineering team, oh my goodness. Whew,
Jesus Lord, or you got
you could
team
fail
of,
all day.
oh yeah. It's like, man, like, and that's just like the back to even just the marketing, like this is what I had to kind of understand as well. It's like obviously everything's a numbers game, but
Right.
to your point, they have like these bigger people or these bigger companies, they have a lot of money to spend. So they don't have to be like, for example, I look
Mhm.
at like what I've been doing the last couple of days is doing a lot of research on like Salesforce and HubSpot and
Right.
these massive CRMs because obviously my vision is pretty massive and like the long term. So I'm like, what are these companies doing? What is their pricing model? What is their client experience? All these different things, yearly revenue, all these things. And I'm like, for example, Salesforce does like $30 billion a year, but
Mhm.
they like don't have this and they don't have that. And you have to pay extra for this. And then you have to have somebody customize it. I'm like, so they're like, when you break it down, like a lot of these companies or these bigger people, they're not like the absolute best. They're not the most
No,
perfect. They
not
just
at
are the
all.
most known. I'm
That's a
like,
fact.
I just,
No, that's real right there, bro.
it's crazy. It's like, that's the problem that a lot of myself very much included because I had to ask myself, why am I not getting like clients and why am I not getting leads consistently? Why am I not having consistent conversations? I'm like, dude, nobody knows who you are.
Not at all. Not at all.
Like you are a nobody and you expect, 10, 30,
Mhm.
100, 200 people to just sign up out of the blue. So when you look at it logically, it's like, huh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yo, I heard this amazing post the other day and I stitched it. There's two things because of what happened with COVID that every business has to have, but most of them will never have it, bro. Professional brand, or sorry, business brand and a personal brand in order to have a successful business. Can't have it
Oh,
anymore where it's just one.
wow. That's true because a lot of these companies, you have no idea who the owner is. You have no idea what they're into, how to find them unless you like do a deep dive.
Deep dive,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
So, like, think about it. The ones that are really successful, like the Apples, the Googles, there's a personal brand. There's executives who have personal brands, and those are the people that make the personal connections.
Yeah.
Audience, like keynotes, leads, customers, and there's a personal right? Steve Jobs or whatever. But then on the other side, the people that take care of all the customers, that's the business brand, that's the sales team, that's the fulfillment, all these things. But you know what people keep doing? They keep going, oh, no one's signing up. No one's signing up. Right. And then they look at, oh, well, I need to have more outreach and sales only, and that's going to fix the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't also have the personal brand. So no one
Mm-hmm.
actually feels like they're talking to a human. So why would they?
Mm.
Why that's going to hurt in the long run because you're just going to keep sending out a bunch more cold messages and no one even knows who you are. So by the time they sign up, it's always a hamster wheel because you're always going to be trying to get more clients because no one knows or has a human connection with you.
Mm. That's powerful.
Crazy, right?
That's a huge breakthrough moment because that's a lot of like you said, that's a lot of people and
Yeah.
myself included. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, like it took even my first conversation with you, that was the first conversation that like really made me turn the wheels on. Like, dude, you need to take LinkedIn seriously.
Yeah.
Like you need to take LinkedIn seriously. And it transitioned to all of them too. Like that's what you helped me realize is that you need to take like you said, personal brand seriously.
You have all the right things because you have the charisma. The crazy part about it is it wasn't like real talk. It wasn't until year 7 when it popped for me. Year 5, year 6, people still sleeping on me hardcore. Still sleeping, right? Had been posting. I posted, I think it was 470 videos.
That's crazy.
Bro, I was just that upset. Like straight up, not even gonna front. I was just that upset. I was like, why the hell is nobody paying attention to my personal brand? And so I just kept posting. And then I realized it wasn't the videos that got me to the other side. It was the budget and the paying somebody to promote me. I kept thinking it was post video. I need to post more content. I need to do this. Bro, I did that. I did that. I did 400 of those. So it's fine. It wasn't that. It was the fact that I wasn't willing those first 6 years, 7 years or whatever. I was not willing to pay an influencer to put me in position. It's only about the way other people in the market are seeing you. And so if everybody else isn't going, oh, the personal brand LinkedIn guy, yeah, Kevin, they're not doing that when you're not in the room, doesn't matter how many videos you post. You could have 30 videos, but if you paid, let's say you had $100,000 and you just went all in on that, right? And you paid 10 of the biggest influencers in your niche to talk about you. You think you're going to get some sales from that?
Oh my gosh.
Done. It's done.
Probably never have to market ever again.
Probably never have to market again outbound for a long time. So
oh my god,
that was the breakthrough, man. It was like, I'm doing the wrong shit.
Yeah.
It's not about, oh, okay, I got 500 videos, got amazing blog. Man, I had a VA business, songwriting business, coaching business, all those things. And they never broke through to the next level. And the only thing that got me to the next level was me outside of my businesses. It wasn't doing more of things in my business. It was me elevating the personal brand. So then the business brand could kind of do this and be dragged along with it.
That makes sense.
Wow.
And that's the crazy part too. Now that you're kind of opening my eyes to that, is I'd always wondered why, like, you'll see all these like bigger guys, like these, big guys, they'll always say like, oh, have like everything aligned, make
systems, content.
Right. Yeah. And make everything about like one thing. And then I see these guys and like they have their personal brand, but they're in like 7 businesses that they promote. Exactly. So I'm like, fun. Like, that's so weird to me that, and now you're helping me understand like the personal brand is just getting people to know, like, and trust you, maybe based off of one certain thing, whether you have like, you're good at this, you do, podcasts, you're a public speaker, but gamer. Then it's like a funnel almost of like, bring all these eyes and attention to me. And then
I decide what I can help you with in the future, because I'm going to evolve. So maybe 20 years from now, I'm buying and selling hotels.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe 40 years from now, I own 5 event locations and we do scholarship programs for Black kids. Right. All that stuff's going to change, but what's not going to change is the Kevin Miller brand.
Yeah. Wow. That's really, give me one sec. Barking and stuff. You're really helping me understand this a lot more now too. And it's kind of getting me a lot like real fired up because there's things that I like to talk about. Like, we have a podcast, so I love obviously talking about mindset, things about that. And then I love reading too. So I've been telling myself for the longest, man, I should post like more mindset things on my personal page or, book reviews on my personal page, but I've just never really seen the value until now.
I see. It's like, well, why don't you do this instead of it being a mindset or this thing? One of the things that really helped for me was identifying the 3 pillars that people are going to connect with me the deepest.
Ooh.
For me, it was pain, my sudden cardiac arrest story, right? Pillar 1, pain for me. Pillar 2, being a young African American in the United States. That's an experience that a lot of people can relate to.
Right.
Right. And then the third is building businesses in public and failing in public.
Ooh.
Because if you're willing to show that part of it, all of a sudden people are want to connect with you versus they only envy you. They only resent you because you're only showing them the good stuff, the lifestyle, the cars, the this, that. That's why I don't do that kind of posts on my Instagram, right? I don't do that kind of stuff. Like I have a nice house and things like that. I don't post those kind of things on my Instagram. And another lesson I learned too on that is that the higher up you go, the more times people will find opportunities and attempt to extort you. So I've had that happen 2 times where people have attempted to extort me because of things I posted.
Wow.
Right. And that's something people don't want to talk about, right? That's not
Right.
something, but that's the honest truth. So that's part of the reason why my posting strategy is the way it is and why I don't post certain things. And that's also part of the reason why I don't post certain family members. Like I want to protect their identity because I don't want certain people trying to infiltrate, right?
Yeah.
Infiltrate what I got going on, right? I'm putting kids, we put probably 15 kids through college this year.
Wow.
Right. So I'm not, when I really think about it and sit back, bro, and I really analyze it, I go, man, if I shared a lot more of certain things, then people would probably realize I'm a lot bigger than they're perceiving me to be.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right. But certain things you can't post like that because we don't live in a safe world like that.
No. That's crazy. I mean, even some of the wealthiest people like don't even have social media and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense to me. Like, wow.
Yeah. And some of those people, like, especially in my city, I live about 30 minutes from Bill Gates' house.
Oh.
Right. So the area is very affluent. So one of the things I realized growing up is that that's not normal for people who look like me.
Right.
Right. So that is my norm. Like that's what I grew up around my whole life.
Right.
Right. And so one of the things I realized is that if I just don't pretend to be somebody I'm not, then I will attract people who are competent, believe in themselves, are not easily persuaded, just like you.
That makes sense.
Right.
I can really resonate with that too, because I get turned away from the guys who are posting their Lambos, posting their diamond watches. Like at first, it was kind of like just like a nice sight to see. Like you're like, oh, that looks kind of cool. And then it gets to a point where you see people consistently posting like their cars, their houses, the money, and it starts to, I wouldn't say this for everybody. Some people it motivates them. Maybe to a degree it used to for me, but now it's like almost repulsive. Like I don't like seeing that content on my feed, and so I'll unfollow that. So to your point, taking that approach and kind of like showing people what I do like about business, and like you said, I made maybe one video about like kind of the downfall of what we just experienced, and
that's good.
A lot of people started to like hit me up personally. They're like, dude, I didn't even know that was going on. And I'm like, it all looks pretty on the outside, and I wish that more people would talk about that. And then I started to say stuff like that in like these Facebook groups, and these people are commenting, and I'm like, maybe that's it right there.
It's the pain.
Yeah.
Humans connect deepest through pain.
Right.
It always works, bro. It's probably my best. Honestly, like I watched this crazy video. You'll love this, man. I didn't understand it at first. He said our greatest strength is our greatest weakness. And I was like, that's some bullshit, whatever. Then I really thought about it. Having a cardiac arrest at 25 was the only reason my personal brand popped off. The only reason, because it automatically puts me in a category that's differentiated by every other competitor. There's not a single other agency owner who's 20, who's black, who's my age, in my city that went through that. It's never happened in human history, ever. So automatically that puts me in a different category for my personal brand and what I get to talk about. Right. So that, man, I look at it as like it's the darkest gift I could have ever been given.
Right.
You know?
Wow. I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah.
That really has me thinking deep about it too. Like, cause you go through things and I mean, even before that last call, like it really felt like I was in this thing by myself. And then you hear, I get on the call and I explain, and everybody's like, dude, what are you like? Not like a joke, but they were like, kind of like, dude, like, what, you're not telling us any new information that we haven't already experienced ourselves. And as much as that's how I took it, but it was positive for me.
It's
like,
good because it's like, oh wait, I'm not alone. Shit.
Right. People are like looking at you like, wait, I thought you were gonna say something like monumental. Like this is like, this is like in the rule book of having a business and being an entrepreneur. I'm like, oh, okay. I feel a lot better about this then. So to your point, like greatest strength being your greatest weakness. I mean, just a lot of things have been highlighted, and I can't thank this group enough that you've created on that meeting up on Wednesdays. I mean, like that really last Wednesday, like if there was anything that really just put fire under me and really like got me back to, like, I was still motivated prior, but all these negative thoughts, all these things, that's not my personality. And until like, I'd say from October all the way until last Wednesday, I was a completely different person. That is not who I am. Like since that call, man, I cannot explain to you like how much I feel like myself again, because I'm a very vibrant, very extroverted, positive person.
Right. I noticed that about you when I first met you.
Yeah. And it's like, just then, the wheels fell off, and then, a little bit.
That was funny. That was super funny.
Anyway.
Did he bite you?
No, he was just when the door rings, he just goes nuts.
He goes crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't hurt a fly, but he'll scare you with his all right. Anyway, but yeah, again, just I appreciate the group very much. I feel like myself again, and I just appreciate it. So yeah, I'm excited for you're still putting it on tomorrow?
Hell yeah.
Man, that
tomorrow gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I look forward to every Wednesday forthcoming. But other than that, how have things been on your end? Everything?
Man, great. Appreciate you asking, man. Let's see what's new. So I got my cold email stuff. We booked this appointment. I felt like it was Christmas, bro, because we sent out about 100 emails only so far, just to test this cold email automation, and wanted to test this new script. And I really wanted people to like opt in instead of like, let me tell you about me or da da da. I wanted them to reply yes or no.
Okay.
Right? And so I tried that, and yeah, bro, the first batch right off the rip, man. Guy makes about 35 million a year, lives about 40 minutes from me, rose his hand on the email, never heard of me before, doesn't even have a TikTok, LinkedIn, any of that stuff, bro. Just rich as hell. Just, yeah, I've been thinking, Kevin, I want to build a personal brand. Ain't that something?
Ain't that
spending 100,000 a month on Facebook ads.
Yeah. It doesn't have a brand?
No personal brand. You would never know who this person is. It has a huge regular online store where you buy stuff.
Holy cow.
Crazy, right? That really opened my eyes, bro. Because remember we were talking about that this year, I just been targeting a lot of the wrong people, bro.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was getting a lot of great people for my low ticket offers. And that's cool. But I wanted the high ticket stuff. People that can afford, 50,000, 25,000, that kind of stuff. Yeah, and I told him, I said, yeah, I'm thinking for you, man, the $14,000 package is a good place to start, is what I told him. I was like, yeah, no problem at all. Let's have another call next week. No problem at all. Not even oh, I need a payment plan or the financial, none of that. Just, yeah, no problem. Let's have a call next week. I'm a little busy and it's holidays and all. So if I don't catch you next week, then we'll just talk in January.
Wow. Wow. That's
Crazy,
crazy.
right? That really helped my self-esteem, bro.
Yeah.
Because it just, I'm him. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah. Something's clicking here. Like, there's people out there that match the avatar that I know I can help, which is very wealthy people, right? Who do not have any kind of TikTok, LinkedIn, personal brand, anything. They only have a business brand. That's all they have. Right.
Essentially no online presence.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just ghost people.
And there's a boatload of people that, again, I've just heard so many times that there's a lot of wealthy people who you would never even know.
Never.
Wow.
Dude is has like a similar story to Gary Vee. Actually, he came from Europe, just like, Gary Vee immigrated from Europe, and then he came to the States and all that. His whole story. Yeah. Same story with him.
Wow. What?
Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
Yeah, I was like, hey, you know who Gary Vee is? He goes, no. Imagine being so rich you don't even know who Gary Vee is.
Oh my God.
It's like, you're kidding, right? You really don't know who that is? No idea. Who's that?
Oh my God. Like, wow. Holy cow. I gotta sit up after that one. Jesus Lord. Because it's like so taboo to like people like us who are like normally present, especially like I grew up on kind of like, I was in what, 7th grade or something when Instagram like first came out and stuff.
Yeah.
So these things are like normal to me, online stuff. But we forget all about the people who are over 50, over 60, who like, these are things that are taboo and they're kind of like leave it for the kids type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that.
I had a lead yesterday. I said, what do you think about doing TikTok? And she's like, my daughter does TikTok. I said, what? Okay. You really don't understand? Like, it's free advertising.
Yeah.
I don't have time. Okay. Cool.
And that's surprisingly like more, I think that's more normal than a lot of people even know. Like that market is just wide open. Like who's going after those people? Like I'd say very few and far in between other than yourself. You know?
I'd have to agree with you. Like, because I clearly wasn't going after him all this year. I clearly was talking to the wrong people, man.
You know?
So yeah, I literally took that avatar of him and then I plugged it right into LinkedIn.
That was what I was gonna ask next. Is like, did you kind of develop some type of avid? Oh yeah,
multiple.
Oh,
multiple. I said, let me duplicate this guy in this niche, this niche, this niche. Yeah, I went crazy. Then I started 8 LinkedIn campaigns the next day. On 8 different profiles. I was like,
oh my
God. Go gadget.
Oh.
I'm kind of obsessive like that. Like when I find something, like I hit goldmine.
Yeah.
The next day I just,
why not? You know?
Why not, right?
It's like you saw it worked. You figured out what you like basically dialed out your process of, okay, how did I even get there in the first place?
Right.
And then you just duplicated it. Like I think a lot of people are just not monitoring their, myself again included, like things that are, there's been times where things have worked and I never like,
you didn't look at the full picture, how it got there.
Exactly. Like really analyze, okay, I did this, I did that, which led to this, which led to this, which led to this end result, positive. And
what
so,
would you say is your biggest avatar? Well, let's see if we can figure that out. What would be like one of those secret avatars for you? Is there a secret pocket that you think you could pinpoint?
Yeah. And I have to, again, thank you very much again for last week. And it, again, like, I don't know I've been trying to tell my partners so much about like one's got a bunch of kids and one is out of the country left and right. So I mean, they're just like, I kind of report back to them of like, hey guys, this is everything that I've come to in the last 24 hours. They'll just get like a long text thread of like 17 text messages a day. But after that last meeting, you had me really sitting back and thinking like, dude, I'm really targeting the wrong people, because just prior to that, I was having a conversation with a lady, and great lady. Like I'm gonna like kind of do like a partnership type of JV situation where like
those are good in the beginning, those little JVs and
that
you need,
or just getting like, you know, how can I help you so then you can tell more people, since you're my target avatar generally, or I should say niche. How can I get you to tell more people about me and what I do and how I help people? So that's kind of what I'm working with her on. But she had said something that I couldn't wrap my head around until you really brought it to my attention. And that was, I told her the price. It was at the time, like, I think we were doing no setup fee, $497 a month. We changed a couple things since then, but that was the conversation. And then a couple days later, I hop on with you, because she was like, first thing she said was, oh, that's a lot of money. And I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I was like, $497, and I just went over everything humanly possible that this system does for you. And I threw in some extra things because I was like trying to get the wheels turning. And you're like, it wasn't value.
Stuck.
Yeah. And I could not wrap my head around it until I hopped on with you guys, and you were like, dude, that's the wrong person. The right person is not even going to like, that's like a steal. Like they're stealing from you at $497.
Yeah, they're going to feel funny, actually.
Right.
I had a client tell me one time, they said, Kevin, are you sure you're going to get what you need? And when they said that shit to me, I was like, shit.
That's crazy.
It's like, that's how they really think. Like they don't want to have that weird karma in the world where like,
right,
they stole from this new guy, right? And this was years ago, and then steal from this newer guy who doesn't know better.
Exactly. And you had made an example of a realtor, like kind of like helping me dial that out. Like what are kind of those better
real estate agent.
Yeah. And then I talked to my buddy who's helping us with he's a copywriter doing copywriting business, so we're helping him out. Like he's working for us, and then he's gonna like basically use us as testimonials, blah blah blah. He said the same thing when I told him kind of like a recap of what we talked about those top echelon. And I told him like, kind of like a general price. And he's like, dude, if a realtor's making like, let's say 20, 30K, 50K a month, and you try to sell them something that's like, let's say under $5,000, they're going to be like, why? Like, why would I do that? Because that doesn't even make sense. How could you possibly get me to the next level at something? So they're looking at it so small. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's good. How could that even get them to a next level?
Right. Because they're like $5,000. Like, dude, I spent that on shoes or something like that. You know, something like that. But him saying that and you saying that, then I really kind of came together. I was like, whoa, I'm not giving people what they want. They don't care about, that's the problem that I had. I was selling the features, not the benefits and then what it can do for you, the end result. And at the same time, I'm not talking to the right people, like the people who, if somebody's never like heard of automation or
if somebody never heard of a CRM, bro, they're
good luck trying to get them to understand what a CRM is and then what the platform could do. Trust me, if anyone sees this, trust me, it doesn't work.
What does the C stand for? Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
So that's you think you landed on it. You think you landed on top 1% real estate agents offering them automation. What you tell me what you landed on. I'm curious.
Yeah, so I was doing some research on like, okay, what is kind of your average whether it's a real estate agent or an insurance agent, because I've noticed a lot of them do both.
Yeah.
So, and it's kind of like Well, all the finer details are not important, but I've kind of noticed that. So I've been looking at the statistics as far as what does the average make, what's kind of that top echelon, what do they make? And then I'm also like on the side, sort of studying for my insurance test, but more so to get more because I know a lot about like when it comes to real estate and what that environment is. We come from kind of a wholesale background. So I understand the language, understand kind of what they're going through, and I'm in a ton of real estate groups. That's why I started posting in them. But when it came to insurance agents, I'm like, okay, this is very similar. You're commission based. You're trying to focus on ideally, like there's a lot of similarities between insurance agents and real estate agents. So I'm like, okay, what's the different points between, somebody who's making less than a livable wage. Those, we do not want to target those people. And that's the people I thought I would like target. I'm like, oh, newer folks, blah, blah, blah. It's
so the people that are making less than a livable wage in real estate, their number one pain point is new deals.
And it's not they can't even afford like their regular bills. How do you think they're going to afford like, a CRM? You know what I mean? Or like a $2,000, $5,000 a month package. It's like even a $1,500 a month. They're not even focused on that. Yeah. Exactly. They need to, what you helped me very, very, very vividly realize is that I need to talk to established people. This is their job and they're trying to get to the next level. They understand kind of some basics, like when it comes to, the value of running Facebook ads, the value of doing Google ads, the value of their time, which you pointed out to me very much so. And that's how we've kind of developed this like higher end package of like a management, like a all in, how would you say? It's kind of like we'll do, ads for you and we'll run the automations, we'll customize things for you, but we'll also do lead management because you helped me understand that.
Management, because they have too many leads and then they don't have the right follow-up. Yeah, like that.
And it's
like that.
To your point, you had told me it's a time thing. They don't care about the price. They don't care about what they care about. And this is what really hit the nail on the head for me is why I could charge $5,000 to $10,000 a month on this package is because this top echelon is focused on how do I maximize my time with people who are ready to go now? And how do I keep my pipeline full, but how do I protect my time as well?
How do I protect my time?
Exactly. Because they don't want to talk to somebody who's going to, I'll buy this. I'm looking at like a $1.5, $2 million house in like 6 months. They want to stay on top of that person, but they don't want to be talking to that person like once a week themselves. They want to be focused
I got a good name for you that came to my head.
Okay.
The lead nurturing system.
Oh, okay.
Everything you need to nurture leads. So the main pain point is, lead nurturing. That's email follow-up, phone follow-up, all that BS, flyers in the mail. You can even add a TikTok package. You can all that, but it's all centered around nurturing.
Exactly. And that's how, again, I know I've said it like probably 17 times now, but I just cannot thank you enough for getting that to click in my head of like Kaleb, you can still do, your SaaS and you can still sell, that's kind of like your downgrade. If somebody's they want to get off, great. You have all these automations. Cause I talked to another guy, Connor Robertson. He's an email guy and he told me
Connor's good.
Yeah, dude. He's
smart.
He's very, very,
very good at email.
Yeah. And he's
high level guy.
He told me I sell XYZ, sell your little low ticket SaaS per month, whatever. Great. But make it where you do not do anything else. But like for that, like you have maybe great customer service and, customer support. That's great. Ticketing system, whatever. But do not like actively sit in there per account and like do XYZ. This is the price. This is what you get. If you want more, then you pay these agency. And I'm like, whoa, okay. So Kevin's telling me this, Connor's telling me this. This is what this is what this company does. This is what this company does. I'm like, what have I been doing?
No, you just, man, it ain't no different, bro. First couple of years, man, we just infants flailing around, dude. We don't know. And it has to be that way. Think about it. Like, let's pretend that you met me as me 5 years ago.
Mm.
There still wouldn't have been enough time for me to develop, for me to have the knowledge to even help you.
That's
It's just not the way the
crazy.
world works, right?
Right.
So even if for some way I was making the same amount of money, even if it was the exact same, actually, let's be honest. It's a lot of people, right? When you think about it, they were making more money at their 9 to 5, right? If they had, some FBI guy or whatever making doctor 6-7 figures or whatever, and they didn't have as much responsibility. So they're spending less time on all these things, and they may have actually liked that life a little bit better, but they still had to ask permission or whatever it was, the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If they could go back and think about it, what they actually gained by running the business was the ability to coach other people. Because their experience now gives them credibility to explain, oh no, that's normal. That's just pitfall number 2. That's normal. So I feel like that's really more valuable what I gained. Is like, oh, I can actually legitimately help somebody and go, oh yeah, your problem is you're just not actually doing enough outreach and you're complaining. Or actually, hey, no, that isn't the problem. Like you did post 400 videos. You actually need to just go ahead and get your Amex out and pay an influencer. And to have that level of knowledge to know what the difference really is for somebody, that's what took 7 years.
That's big. That's big.
What your clients need you for. They need you to have that level of discernment in what the area that they're coming to you in.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't even picture it like that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Man, I could have met you 5 years ago, but it wouldn't have helped you.
That's a good point. Or maybe the advice might have been different than it is now, you know, or something that,
post more content. I probably 5 years ago, I would have told you post more content because I didn't know better.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But I actually know better.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
Another thing too that's been helping me a lot is when I am trying to vet a vendor or vet somebody to work with for any reason.
Yeah.
I can immediately tell where they're at along that journey. When I ask them this question, I just say, how do you know you're doing a good job for your client? What's the indicator? If they tell me, oh, well, they made more money. Yeah, but they already expected that. How do they actually know? What's the real tell? And usually if they're seasoned, they're not coming to you for more questions all the time. They're coming to you to be filled. Like you're coming to me to be like filled and feel good and be encouraged and like, but you're not coming to me going, Kevin, that campaign, this. No. You're coming to me for a different reason. For emotional fulfillment and joy and encouragement versus nitpicking. That's how you know you did a good job.
That's crazy. That makes perfect sense when you put it like that. Holy cow. Like they're sharing their wins,
joys, their downs, because they see you in the way you wanted them to see you.
Right. Like, oh my gosh, that's huge.
And then imagine what that does for the business. So if you have 10 people, like if I have 10 Kalebs, then what does that do for my personal brand?
Oh. Yeah.
Right.
Jeez. That's crazy. I didn't even think
I needed to do more, a shit ton more outreach, or I needed to do this. I'm going to do that stuff anyway.
Right.
But it's a lot more beneficial for me to actually have these type of conversations at scale.
Yeah.
TikTok live, 101, Facebook group live, like we're in right now.
Yeah.
That is sales.
That's so, man, especially when people can see, like, because I think there's like, you see like generic testimonials, in my opinion, like you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a difference between, like for example, me coming on and raving about like the group and how much it's done for me, I feel like you can almost feel through the screen the level of conviction between that and then somebody getting on a video and saying, hey, this group was,
I made
or this.
3x.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds good.
It does. Like you did the result. Yes. To your point, they got the result, but like, are they truly like almost like how can you get somebody to almost like fall in love with you like as a business, like how can you get them to want to actually tell people with a level of conviction, not just, oh yeah, I know a guy, or this is the guy I use. Like, no, you want people to go out there and say, you need to go through this person. Like, this is the person. I so hardly believe in them. I love talking to them, because that's what usually gets me is when like my mentor, if he ever says like, yeah, I talked to the owner, he's a great guy, blah, 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 sold instantly.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Because he's talking about this level of like knowing that individual and how he likes that individual, because it's past the business. To your point,
it's the personal connection. Yeah.
Exactly. Like the business gets the result. The person creates that level of conviction, that connection, that relationship, XYZ. So, man, you hit the nail on the head with that one. Holy cow. Man, this is crazy.
So tomorrow, bro, what should we talk about tomorrow? I'm gonna get some talking points, but what do you think we should go over tomorrow?
I think you've asked me this before, or even just in this live, kind of a variation of this. Like, if there was one thing that would change your situation or take you to the next level, because a lot of people know, and myself included, when you ask somebody directly, or when you ask me directly, like, what's the one thing that would really just set the tone or change things? A lot of people know the answer. And so when I say that
out loud would really help clarify
and put that, like, because a
fire.
lot of times we like to shy away from it, especially if you're not an extrovert and these kinds of things. Like, there's different things that help you like take actionable steps a lot easier than the next person might. And so saying it out loud, especially for me, when I think we talked about this last week too, was the content for me. So when I said that out loud, I was like, oh, why am I not doing this? And then you guys had followed up with, okay, Kaleb, we're going to check in. And that right there was just like, oh, it's time. It's time. Like, so I think that would be a great thing to talk about, just to hear other people. I love seeing other people win and what other people are going through to help, how y'all helped me last week. I want to just have the opportunity to, whether it's just be there as support for somebody. So if anybody's going through anything like personal or business wise, I always like to, if we could even ask something like that, is anybody going through anything, just like a check-in basically. And just to let people know that I'm here. I might be newer to the game when it comes to software, or, I've been doing this business thing for 3 years, ups, downs, lefts, rights, lost money, made money. So it's like, if I can just be there for anybody, man, that's really it. But then, and then share wins, of course. Who doesn't like to hear when other people are winning?
Man, I was thinking about posting the recording of the $35 million sales call. I was thinking about putting that in the group, of letting us all kind of watch it and have fun.
Oh,
I think that would be really funny. Well, not funny, but fun, like we'd all be like, oh wait,
I think, and actually, like, with that, I think it opens up perspective, because especially like me, even having a big vision, when you're starting to go through things, the vision starts to get cloudy and you start to kind of get into a hole. Like, you start to think to yourself, like, how do I make the first 10,000? How do I make the first 2,000, 1,000, 500? The number gets smaller and smaller. So hearing something like that, where you just had a conversation with a guy who's doing massive numbers and it just opens up and keeps your mind fresh to where, you know what I mean? The possibilities. And I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to like, it's hard to take advantage of opportunity if you're not even seeing it.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
That's real.
I love hearing stuff like that. Like, dude, did you hear what Kevin just had this conversation, or we just
Yeah.
watched the video, or a call, whatever the case may be. I think that just like really primes people's minds to be like, holy cow, that's possible. I know the guy who just made it possible.
Right on, buddy. Right on, man. Well, hey, what I'll do as we wrap up, man, is I want you to have this recording. So I'm going to send you this, and you can use this. You have my permission to use this and chop it up for TikTok, podcast, whatever you want to do, man. You got my blessing. So I'm going to send you this recording.
Dude, I appreciate that. I wasn't even thinking about that.
I mean, hey, we got to use our,
Yeah.
This is a good conversation. So I'm gonna post this on all my socials.
Go ahead, yeah.
And then I'm gonna send you the raw recording, and that way you could chop this up as content. This is like 100 TikTok shorts right here.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Like 100 TikTok shorts.
Holy cow. Yeah, dude, I really appreciate that and I just appreciate you. I know when I first came on, you're like, yeah, or when you were saying it, when I was typing in the Facebook, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be on for about 10 more minutes. I know it's been over 10.
Yes.
Oh man.
I mean, that's the beautiful part about where I'm at now. It's like I can actually afford to do that. Like I can just be like, okay, I'm gonna actually stay an hour.
No, and I appreciate that. Oh my gosh, more than from the first time I saw your interview with I think you did an interview with Sean, right? It was Sean or
Chase. Yep, Chase.
That's who it was. It was Chase. Yeah. And that's when I first found out about you. And then I was like, I sent my guys right away. I'm like, this is the TikTok guy, or not TikTok guy, the LinkedIn guy. And then I went to your TikTok and stuff like that. But like, whoever sees this too, like, you are the LinkedIn guy. Like when you said I am him, you are definitely him.
I'm him. By Kevin Gates, I'm Hume.
Oh, that was a perfect Kevin Gates impression too.
I don't know why, bro, but in college, bro, everybody, like my whole school was on Kevin Gates so hard.
Really?
I don't know why. It was such a suburban city too.
It kind of makes a little bit more sense.
I said everybody like,
oh yeah,
what college you were? It's like, you guys hear Kevin Gates?
Yeah, I understand. I grew up in a farm town where it was very much not diverse for the majority of my life. So trust me, I definitely understand what that's man. But I'll let you get to it, Kevin, man. I appreciate it. Is there anything that you wanted to release or share with?
Honestly, no promo for me on here, man. No promo for me.
Really?
You've done enough of it for me, so there's nothing else for me to say. Nothing else for me to say.
Man,
I appreciate you so much, man, and I'm so glad that you hopped in, man. The inner circle's better because of you, man. Real talk,
man. And my life is a lot better now. So I appreciate that, man. Everything you do. You're truly one for the people and one for I really resonate with you because you genuinely care. That's why I have my mentor as well, because from day one, I knew that you like genuinely cared. And so I just can't thank you enough for just even the time you've shared or the things you put on the group. This call, like I said, I know it'll come back tenfold no matter 100%. What way, whether it's from myself or from the group or whatever. But I just, really appreciate that. And I cannot thank you enough.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for saying that. I received that. Thank you.
Of course.
Awesome.
All right, I'll let you get back to the rest of your day, Kevin.
Go get them. Get that outreach.
Yeah. All right, Kevin. Have a good day.
You too. Later.